Hello,
Burp.
we're back, and we're in seedy Pokey Vegas. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, we're still doing this. A
Yes, we're still
team.
doing this.
Yes, I'm going to keep doing this till I finish it. So how have you been?
I have been alive and breathing, and well, yeah.
Good. I'd expect no less.
Well, I mean, I'm still here,
Uh,
so you it would be ridiculous to expect less than me still being alive since we last recorded.
True that.
Yes, I assume the same with yourself for
Yeah,
obvious
I'm
reasons.
still not dead.
Yeah. Ah, darn it.
Oh well.
Here I was hoping I would inherit
Maybe next time.
something of lesser value.
I'm going to do the trick house again. Yeah, we're
I
definitely
got
not
that
getting to the next gym in this
Are
episode.
we
There's
not?
too much stuff to do.
Is it too much essential stuff or too much random side
Well,
stuff
I
that
sort
you
of want
like to do?
to go through various routes and stuff, and although,
Don't go down the hole. That's right.
yeah, it's
That's the
fairly
button. And then
straightforward.
you can go to the left.
I
Oh,
know where to go. I've done this plenty of times before. They always look like
yeah, but
pies to me. Those,
I've never done this before, so it is new to me, and I still know what to do.
well, that's because it's made for children.
Well, you know. Oh my, we saw the trapdoor. That one opened. Closed.
It'd never be as easy as that, would it? Ah, so
Just watching you do this is amusing to me.
why?
Oh, because of all the walking into walls.
Well,
Ooh, you found a scroll.
you sound bored.
Well, there's not a lot I can comment on when it comes to this.
No, well, we'd better pick a topic then. Pick a
Go on
number
then.
between one, two, three, four, five, 1 and 5.
See, I already knew it was going to be from 5 because you told me that you had 5 topics. So I'm going to pick 7
Okay. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. Are you familiar with the show Room 101?
vaguely. I have at some point seen some of the episodes from way back when,
Well, the
and I
premise,
understand the idea.
yes, well, the premise, for those of you who don't know, Keith, is that it's based on the Room 101 from which novel?
Keith can't answer you.
I'm talking to you.
Oh, you can't be explaining it to someone else and then asking me questions.
From which novel, Jordan?
1984.
Well done, have a biscuit. Probably
No,
too late. Anyway, yes, and you condemn the things you hate most. That aren't really massive things, but are just little niggling things into Room 101 where they will linger for all eternity. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun if we went through some things that would be ripe candidates for our own Room 101?
oh,
So,
I feel like that's dangerous.
well, I came up with the topic, so I already have some ideas.
Other people.
So if I go through some of mine, I'll give you some time to think. How about that then?
I already gave you my answer.
Right, other people. Okay, you've got
Other
any?
people.
You got any? Would you like to expand on that?
Life would be a lot simpler if there weren't other people out.
That's true. I think you probably need to be aiming for something a bit more precise, though.
All right. People that aren't me.
Okay, fair enough.
It's slightly more specific.
I would put people who play music on the bus without their headphones in.
Fair enough.
I can't
Like that
stand
bloke
that.
in that Star Trek film.
I think it's so fucking rude.
Like the bloke in the Star Trek
Yes,
film.
like the bloke in the Star Trek film.
There
Ah,
was a follow up to that in Picard
yes,
where
I'm aware. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
no, it doesn't make any
It's one of
sense.
those
But
weird references where we're supposed to believe this man hasn't changed at all in the last 40 odd years.
well, not only that, but also I'm not entirely sure of the context, but it seems weird to me that Picard would go back to that same time period.
It's not the same time period. It's like 2022 or something, 24.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, They do love their time traveling.
Yes,
That's like,
I think it's so. I think it's such a rude fucking thing to do, to play music out loud. Nobody's fucking interested. This is a public bus, sir. You know, there's other people around. You should be mindful.
what music was it?
What?
What was the music?
In what? Star Trek?
No, in your recent example of this.
Oh
with
well,
making
I
so
don't know. I
agitated
never
about it.
recognise it. It's always terrible.
I think that I wonder is maybe part of the problem. I wonder if you would if you wouldn't be quite so annoyed by it if you liked the music.
No, of course not. But it would still be a rude thing to do. It'd be
Well,
like saying, you wouldn't be quite so annoyed by it if you were playing your music?
well, you see, the trouble is, it's only rude because it's annoyed you
No, it's still a
and
rude.
whoever else it annoys. If it was something that was collectively liked by everyone, it would be considered a treat.
You know, only if you asked people.
Really don't like people on buses,
Well, I ride buses a lot, so that explains that.
and yet, you know, there's a solution to this that
What?
would stop you ever having to deal with this problem ever again.
Oh, well, I hope it's very cheap. I hope
Ah,
it's
yeah,
very
well,
cheap and
it's
easy
not.
to do and doesn't take an awful lot of time.
Well, I mean, the easy to do thing is very accurate. Yeah, it is very easy to do,
Well, you did it.
and all those other morons as well.
I know. Well,
That's right.
I
Learn
don't
to drive.
I don't want to.
Okay, but here's the thing: there is a situation that you will never be able to stop happening, and that one of the solutions that you could have is learn to drive. And that is
Yes.
it. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying on the matter.
All right. Yes, but it's something that winds me up massively. But I hope to one day pretty soon be in a position where I don't have to ride the bus.
Why is Isaac a Pokemon breeder? Why can't he leave his Pokemon alone?
TK. So yeah, that would be one of them. Another one would be people who eat with their mouth open.
Okay,
Can't stand that.
I
Fucking annoying.
I know who specifically has annoyed you with that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hippies are also on the list.
Well, and how do you define hippie?
Well, it's the hippie movement.
Okay, but
See, what did you say? Sorry.
it's such a non-existent thing these days.
Well,
really,
let me go into detail. So the reason why I hate the hippie movement is because it was a bunch of fucking white kids, privileged white kids, who went into a field and fucked and wrote shit poetry and did drugs and wrote crappy songs and pretended they were changing the world, accomplished absolutely fuck all of any value, pissed off back home and got jobs in offices. The hippie movement is everything that people despise about protest movements, magnified to 100. It accomplished absolutely fuck all. It was just self-indulgent bullshit. Yeah.
Ben's getting old.
I'm not getting old. When I am, literally.
Yeah, at a rate of
Yeah,
a
very
day
real-
per day,
very
you
real
can't
sense.
not be getting old. But
Let me just see, because I've got them all on my phone. I wrote these at work.
see, I don't know. I don't understand why you've got such a big deal about the hippie movement. I mean, if it didn't accomplish anything, why does it matter?
What the fuck are you talking? Well, it didn't accomplish it because it claims it did. They love to
Well,
say they changed the world. They didn't change the fucking world.
Well, but I mean, there was an impact, a cultural impact as a result.
Yes,
of
there
that
was a
being
cultural
done.
impact, but it
Okay.
accomplished absolutely fuck all in
Well,
terms of any real change in the world. It's,
I think maybe your lack of music interest might possibly have.
well, that's not necessarily the hippie movement, is it? That's just
No, I'm not.
that's
I'm
just
not saying.
the progressive society and all that stuff, and the changing genres and things like that. But the hippie movement as a core was awful. You do understand these are like little niggling things that may piss me off.
They really seem like they're quite big things to you.
Yeah, that's the point of this.
I
It's
thought this was meant to be light. Next, you're going to put, I don't
Okay,
know,
well, go on.
Semitism in there or something.
No.
Well, I hope not.
Better cross
But the way
that.
this is, but the tone that you've got, it sounds very.
Well, the next one is grammar Nazis.
Oh, ironic.
Anyone who criticises grammar to that pedantic extent does not understand how language works. Language is a constantly evolving thing. It changes based on little mistakes like this. People saying we get the word lamb from jambon, which is French, and has eventually turned into lamb. That's the way it works. So the idea.
Isn't jambon ham?
I don't think so. Is it?
I'm pretty sure jambon is ham.
What the fuck is
I'm
lamb?
gonna look at
You look it up.
jambon in English. Hang on. Okay, so there is a food that is a jambon.
Yeah.
Which is a. Oh no, that's not it. That's not the same thing. Jambon in English. It's ham. Yeah, it's ham.
Oh right, no, I got mixed up. Yeah.
Lamb is agnew.
Okay.
Or hang on, if I just
Like Spyro Agnew. Okay, so.
Agnew.
Agnew. All right.
Agnew
Okay.
at all.
Well, I think my point, even though I was embarrassingly wrong, my point still stands. Jambon became ham. You know. It evolves naturally. And any attempt to keep language pure is just ridiculous. You might as well try and stop fucking continental drift.
I think there's a distinct difference between words changing and the sentence structure changing.
What is the purpose of language?
To communicate.
Yes. If you understand what I'm saying, regardless of how sloppy you feel my communication is, it still counts. Language has done its job.
Okay.
I know you agree with that.
Well, I absolutely agree with that because, as you know full well, I've made that point in recent conversations that we've had.
Have we?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I forget.
Well, and yet you seem so adamant about when I've said something or haven't said something or you haven't said something and yet here you're admitting that you forget about these things. So
Who remembers? Like, yeah, but yes. So that would go in, and my final one, because you're only allowed 5, or at least in the original series. My final one is tasteless true crime. Now, true crime by its very nature is exploitative, but some is more exploitative than others. One of my favourite true crime property series, whatever, is Born to Kill, and which actually sort of goes out of its way to give the victims' families a say. And wrong, Barry, and not shy away from the fact that they kill innocent people and whatever. It doesn't shy away from that. It's not all about the killers, but some true crime just goes right into it, and I can't fucking stand all that fucking makeup and murder and martini and murder fucking YouTube videos and podcast stuff. I just think that's fucking gross.
Okay.
Yeah, is that the only one you really agree? Nothing
No,
to say there.
I mean,
No comment about how, I don't know, John Wayne Gacy was a right fitty or whatever.
right? What?
Fitty? I don't know. Do people still say that? Do people ever fucking say that? I don't know.
No, I don't think. See, this is why you're so opposed to the hippie movement. It's because you're still living in the 1940s.
Fuck 'em.
The late 1940s, I might add.
What? You say that like if it was any earlier, I would have definitely been a Nazi. That's the
No.
that's the tone I'm
No.
picking up in your voice.
No, because I very much doubt the idea of calling someone a grammar Nazi would have existed whilst we were still fighting them.
Oh yeah, fair enough. It's not a badge of honour for those bastards.
So therefore, it would have to be after we defeated them in the war, with our lovely Allied assistance, of course.
You say that like a game show host talking about some pretty blonde who can't string a sentence together.
Well, that's Canada for you.
What?
Well, that's Canada
Yeah,
for you.
okay, yeah, I heard. I just didn't.
Well, then, you knew what I meant.
Hmm. So yeah, those are my 5. Have you got any
Or
more you
other than
liked
other people.
other than the sum of humanity aside from yourself, including your son, apparently, which is a
Uh,
bit fucked up, but whatever.
I mean, he's 50% vegan, so he's half safe.
Okay.
If we have to make exceptions, fine. Include him on the.
All
He
right.
can be on the list.
Okay. Am I in on the list?
No.
Right. So it's just you and your son on a fucking rotting planet.
Yeah, but
Right. Have fun with that.
it'll be a laugh.
Okay.
But
So,
order for 2 weeks before we randomly die of some god knows what illness because of I don't know something.
so do you
Get a
have
nice 2 weeks.
any other ideas?
People who insist on telling you about their dietary requirements when you haven't asked,
Oh, that's a good one. Uh,
and when it is irrelevant
when
to the
it's
conversation.
irrelevant. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, if you're arranging to go for a meal and they're like, I'm vegan, then that's fair enough because you
Yeah.
need to consider that as part of the conversation. I
Yeah.
can live with that. If it's someone, if you're having a random small talk
If you're at
with
a
someone,
urinal or something, and they turn to you
yeah,
and say, "I'm gluten free, by the way."
it's like,
Can you
yes,
tell?
fine. I wasn't planning on eating you.
Uh,
That deserved a better laugh than it got.
I was in a barber shop.
Hang
Uh,
on, what about my list?
oh, sorry. Oh, you were actually working on one.
Well, I wasn't working on one, but I've come up with a few.
Okay, well, can I finish this little story first, please? I'm
All
sorry.
right, fair
I
enough.
was in a barber shop and I was getting my hair cut, and some old git started talking about how gluten-free fish and chips spat in the face of the troops who fought in World War One.
What about World War Two?
Just World War One.
Oh, well, it didn't care about World War Two then,
Well,
did it?
yeah, World War Two. Yeah, but all right. I'm curious to hear what your list entails. Go on.
The use of nationalist flags outside of specific national events
Yes, I think you've spoken about this
and
before.
sporting events.
Please
I am.
expand.
I feel like it's such a ridiculous thing to fly your country's flag for any time other than a time where it matters that you are of that country's, part of that country. Like, I get it at a football match where it's us versus the Dutch. I get it, makes sense. Completely understand it, you know? But just because you fancy the country a bit doesn't mean you should be flying a flag in your garden. It's just like get a grip. Are you that insecure about the fact that you're British or whatever nationality you are? Because the Yanks do it as well. They love doing it.
Yeah,
I don't understand the point of having flags flying
they
outside
fly
of
flags
government
of
buildings.
countries that don't even exist anymore and only existed for about 4 years. So
Are you talking about the Confederacy?
yeah,
Well, I love it. The vaguely United States of America need to get a grip.
yes. I tell you what would be my 6th.
I'm fairly sure I only heard 4 from you, so
I had 5. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, tasteless true crime, noisy eaters, people who listen to music on buses loudly, grammar Nazis, and the hippie movement.
the hidden movement. Okay, yeah, I mean,
But
I had one of those I had missed at some point when I was.
a late potential addition would be people who don't listen to you when you're talking to them, or
Okay.
people who interrupt you. People rise immediately in my esteem if they let me finish a fucking sentence, which you do. You're quite good at it. Not perfect,
try
but you're
to.
good at it. Yeah.
The thing you need to consider though.
Yeah, I wasn't finished a
in this-
sentence, ironically.
I know, I know. The thing you need to consider about this is that it's a lot harder to do when you're not looking at the person.
Yes, I know. But yeah, I know people who will look at you who will speak, and then you'll contribute something to the conversation, and their eyes will glaze over, and you just know that they're waiting for you to finish. That they're treating this as just something they have to sit through before they can talk again. They're not actually
It's a
listening
load
to you.
of
Oh, so very quickly, if I could live anywhere in the Pokemon world, this would be it. It's quaint. It's by the
Okay.
woods and it's quiet, and I like it a lot. But yes, please continue.
Those moments where people are like, "Oh, you should watch this thing," or "You should listen to that," or
Yeah.
because as I've been regular viewers, Keith, will know that I take a personal issue with that in the sense that if I wanted to watch it,
Fuck's.
I'd have already watched it, and I probably have every intention of watching it, but I'm always fucking busy. You know, if I tell someone that I'll put it on, but someone telling me that I should watch something makes me want to watch it less.
Yes, I'm very much like that as well. If somebody recommends something to me, the chances of me watching it are less. I will feel less comfortable about watching it. I don't know
You should
why.
totally watch porn.
Uh,
You'll love porn, Ben. Go ahead and watch porn.
when
You'll love it.
I've told you to watch Inside Number 9, haven't I? A number of
Yes, you have.
times, and I know you feel that way, and I think you might enjoy it. But again,
I probably would.
I fully recognise that you probably won't watch it, and that's fine. That's your choice. But
I will if I
I
get
don't feel bad
time.
about recommending it to you. Put it that way.
If there comes a point where I'm looking for something to watch and it presents itself, I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
But the trouble is, there's so many things that I actively want to watch that I've not started watching yet. For example, I keep meaning to watch, what's it called? The Thick of It. I desperately want to watch The Thick of It.
Veep
But I'm
is
never in the
better.
mood for it. You were?
Veep is better.
Wait, The Thick of It is a thing I know of and I've seen clips from, and that I can see
Okay,
myself
that's Type
actually
Plus.
definitely enjoying.
Yeah.
You know? So I will at some point watch it, but I just haven't got around to it. People keep saying, "Oh, you need to watch The Thick of It."
Oh, I don't think I can go through here yet. That's a new area, by the way. There's something pretty cool in that cave that I.
I didn't recognise it. Is it a Zapdos?
No, it's an item that I want. That's really
Good,
very
'cause
interesting, and I'd quite like to get it. But I think you need
it
strength before you go up there.
probably wouldn't have been a Zapdos anyway, because it was a burning cave. It would have been a Moltres.
It's neither actually. I think there's an Entei in there.
No, I mean if it was going to be a one of the birds, it would have been a Moltres.
Yes, but I think there's an Entei in there.
How many things have I got left?
I can't remember. What did you say? You said
Everyone apart from me. And
yeah.
probably myself.
What was the most recent one? People asking to watch stuff, dietary requirements. I think you've had 3.
I feel like that was another one. But, pens that have ink in them but still don't work.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, no, I appreciate that.
Like you can see the ink's there, but for some reason it won't come out. They're a pain in the ass. No, can't stand it. Pisses me off. And I don't know. When
Oh fuck.
oh, is she not dead?
No, I think that does more if you're underground at the time, which makes a lot of sense. But I am part ground type. I think dragon resists. I mean, dragon resists a lot of stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if dragon resisted ground. So, and it was only magnitude 6, so that was unlikely to really do anything.
And cold callers.
Yeah.
But I had one yesterday, and what they did was they rang me. I was out, and they rang me. I answered. They asked if I was me by name. I'm like, yeah. And then they hung up on me. So I mean, I don't know what elaborate.
Hey! Jeff's evolving. Behold, our mighty Jeff at full power.
It looks stupid.
It doesn't look stupid, it looks great. You'd have said that regardless of what it looked like.
Not necessarily. I've been playing a bit of Halo lately, as you'll all know, from either seeing it on while I was playing it or
Yes, I remember
um,
asking you what you were doing. You said you were going to play some Halo, and then you started playing Halo.
funnily enough, I'm very true to my word most of the time.
Yeah.
But I'm playing it for fun, which means that I'm cheating
Fair enough.
because I have no qualms about cheating if I'm
Yeah,
just trying to play for fun.
I did
Like I'm
that
playing
with
for,
GTA San Andreas. So,
no harm at all. One of the consequences of this cheating is that it's quite hard to kill me. Not impossible, but very hard to kill me
mm,
because infinite health typically means you don't die. It seems that there is a loophole in the particular game in that if you have a vehicle slam into you, deliberately or accidentally, it still kills you.
mm.
But that is a mostly avoidable situation. I did shoot one out of the sky and it crashed into me, killing me. Somewhat annoying, but such is life. The um, the thing I specifically
Yeah.
wanted to mention is that you could customize the game by activating what they call skulls. And they're sort of like just game modifiers, right?
Mhm.
One of them is if you kill the little ones with a headshot, the little aliens with a headshot, there's like a little confetti noise
Mhm.
and a party horn and all that kind of crap. And another one is that if when those die, no matter how they die, they explode.
Oh, we got a rare encounter. That's what that music means.
I can't hear the music, so
Okay, well, I don't want you.
no one wants me.
Yes, they
So,
do. What about your girlfriend? She seems all right around you.
well, yeah, fair point. So anyway, I've said it so that these little like aliens explode, right?
Mhm.
They tend to be in groups, so you kill one that's roughly in the middle, and then it dies, and then a few seconds after it's fallen over, it explodes and it kills all of those, but they go flying and into God knows what, and then they explode shortly after they've landed. And as a result of this, my kill count includes basically anyone that's ever been on my team and near me.
Right.
It is equally dangerous to be against me as it is to be with me because these little aliens keep going flying into my group of people, and I'm fine because I'm invulnerable to damage, right? But they're all not. They're dying and they're getting blown up, and God knows what's happening to the rest of them, just because I'm cheating.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
is fucking effective.
I like cheating in video games for fun. I played through San Andreas with cheats enabled just because it's easier. I give myself lots of money and heal myself. And one of the things I love to do in San Andreas is I do this thing where once I completed the game, I'll put on riot mode and I'll give everybody guns. So it's complete chaos, and I'll try and get to one side of the map, from one side of the map to the other without using a vehicle, and it's fun.
I I used to rather enjoy in what's it called, Vice City, doing the tank police missions. Where you would spawn a tank in, drive it, do your police missions, vigilante, I think they call them,
Mm.
and make my money that way because I'm blowing shit up. I'm doing it
Oh yeah, I did
semi
that too. Yeah.
legitimately. And when the police do inevitably come after you, they've got no hope. So,
Yeah. I when I did that before, I thought that once you got to 100, you got like a bonus or something. It was actually like 10, and I went all the way to 100, and I didn't get anything. I was very annoyed.
the um the issue with the GTA
Hey, we
the
got
issue
10
with the
grand.
GTA game cheats is that they typically you need to type them, don't you?
Yeah,
You actually type the cheat in,
yeah.
and as I understand that that's a consequence of the input style and the way that we used to play and all that kind of stuff. But it is so very tedious.
Well, I'm a fast typer.
Having to speed type aspirin because someone's ambushed you,
Yes.
you know.
Hunker down and just start typing.
But then they shot you whilst you're typing, so you've got to.
Yes.
And Lance can fucking piss off.
Or you type the slow down cheat. It slows the world down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't go for that kind of cheat these days. I have a piece of software called WeMod,
Right.
and it basically runs trainers for all these games
Hmm.
instead, like a massive archive of trainers for games. So I use that, free to use. You can pay for a better version of it, but you don't need it. And basically, any game I play is on there.
Shall we murder this family?
No, because then you'll end up on a true crime podcast.
Well, I'm not going to murder them. I'm just going to beat the shit out of their pets.
Have you been to a Pokemon Center since?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've also got £10,000, 10,000 Poké dollars or whatever. So I'm gonna, when I finish this, we'll double back and we'll see if we can get the thing I want.
I doubt you'll get it.
No, I have done before. It takes a little while to find it naturally. Unfortunately, I know where it is. I looked it up. But it's definitely going to be my next team member because it's one of my favourite Pokemon in this mod.
I started my Stanley Kubrick film review series this week.
How are you finding it with Blades of Glory, right? No, is it Blades of Glory? Paths of Glory, something like that.
Blades of Glory.
What?
Blades of Glory.
Is the ice skating one? Yeah, I know. It's a parody.
It would be fantastic if Kubrick had directed that with Will Ferrell and what's his face.
Will Ferrell would have shot himself.
Probably, yeah.
Despair.
You're thinking Paths of Glory.
Yes, I said Paths of Glory after Blades of Glory, yeah.
Which is the 4th film in the series.
Right. Really?
And
I
so
thought
I
it was
haven't
earlier.
got to that yet.
What's his first one?
Fear and Desire from 1952.
Golly gee williker.
Yeah.
Spartacus? Are you looking forward to Spartacus?
I am. That's the first of the ones I'm looking forward to. And then I've seen 2 of them. Three of them after that. Not the 3 right after that. But I mean, I've got Killer's Kiss next, The Killing, Paths of Glory, Spartacus, Lolita, Doctor Strangelove.
Wait, whoa. He did Lolita?
He did Lolita.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So that'll be up on the 9th of August, according to my calendar.
I'd quite like to watch Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, that'll be my last one.
Yeah.
I've looked at how much it's going to cost me to watch them all. Because none of them are streaming free after the one that I've already watched.
£20,000.
No, it's like £350 each.
Oh, good heavens.
One's £250.
£350 each.
I know, right? Good job I get paid.
Mm.
I was surprised actually to find out that Spartacus was the longest one.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well,
it's an old sword and sandal epic, so yeah.
In my head, 2001 was definitely going to be the strangest.
Why is that super effective? It must have a ability that makes everything flying.
But the one time that I watched 2001, it felt like it went on for about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
So I was surprised to find out it's only 2.5.
Well,
I'm looking forward to A Clockwork Orange.
Yes, I wrote I wrote an essay at uni about that, and I did well in my exam on it. I like A Clockwork Orange.
I've only seen bits of it. I would quite like to watch the whole thing proper. Now that I've heard the book, at least.
Well, speaking of famous people...
Will we?
Well, Stanley Kubrick's pretty famous.
Oh, okay.
It occurred to me that over the weekend... what with the Queen being dead and all, who was undoubtedly the most famous person of her time... Who's now the most famous person in the world?
Oh, living, I assume.
Yeah, living. Famous living person.
Do you have an answer for this, or is this a...
No, this is a speculation.
Okay. Speculation round. Oh, I don't know. I suppose it'd probably be some sort of musician, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. Taylor Swift
well,
or something.
Beyonce sprung to mind.
Yeah. Could well be.
Yes, fun fact, they mentioned the Windstreak son in this. This is the Windstreak family. They all fight you. And he's not in the original. Well, he's alluded to be in the original game, but he's definitely in this one. We'll find him eventually, and we'll kick his ass.
Understandable.
So yeah, yes, I think Beyonce is a good shout, but I also think Pope Francis might be in with a chance there.
That's the point. That's something.
Maybe Obama, perhaps Trump, maybe one of the US presidents. But 453rd Magikarp. Yeah, you can fish fossil Pokemon in here.
Huh?
Case in point.
I was thinking about the Pope earlier.
Where?
Yeah, and I was wondering when we're ever going to get a black Pope, based on the way that the Pope is chosen. I was wondering how long it would be.
Yeah.
Turns out it's possibly been 3.
Yes, I was about to say that. I heard.
It was
wasn't
a, it's
entirely
the sort
sure.
of thing. It's the sort of thing where I would be prepared to believe there had already been one, but that like it's not something you think about, is it? Whether the Pope's been black or not. But
No.
considering all the possible realistic places that the Pope could come from, like the current guy is Brazilian, isn't he?
Argentinian. I think.
Argentinian. It's South American anyway.
Yeah,
I thought it was Brazil, but yeah. Yeah, apparently there's already been 3.
Well, I think I heard the case made that there's been a Black Roman Emperor. So it makes sense. So yeah, I think Pope Francis is probably a good shout. But it was the Queen. I mean, she probably met more human beings than any other human beings ever lived, right? Just in terms of like the crowds that came and all the people she spoke to. Right.
Of course, she has the advantage of having been around for so long as well.
Exactly, and in a job where basically her job is meeting people. But we have to do this interview now. So we can only use one thing. So where would you like to go?
Hang on, what's this interview about?
We've just beaten them in a battle, and they want to get our feelings on the matter.
Status. Blaze!
Yes, usually I put Magikarp as a statement on their competency, but hey-ho.
Well, just flopping about.
So, yeah. Have you got any topics? Anything you're eager to discuss?
I wouldn't say eager.
Okay.
Did you see the news earlier today about how the government are going to challenge the COVID inquiry's request for WhatsApp message?
I've heard bits and pieces of that. I thought Boris Johnson deleted them like Richard Nixon during Watergate.
He supposedly handed them over, but the government itself are now trying to block the WhatsApp messages going en masse to the inquiry, saying that the messages they want to emit aren't relevant, and the woman in charge of the inquiry is saying that, well, actually, that's for me to decide, not for you.
Absolutely.
And I can't help but think that this is going to be one massive expense that's going to result in the inquiry getting what the inquiry wants. And that inquiry is also one massive expense, justified, of course. It's important that we find out just how badly they fucked up the COVID front.
Oh, absolutely.
And hold anyone accountable if they need to be.
Which will never happen.
Well, no, but
people should probably go to prison for that, but they won't.
If the statement of "let the bodies pile up" is accurate, that alone should be enough to justify.
Oh, nobody cares, Jordan. Nobody gives a shit.
Criminal negligence at the very least.
Fuck off, Ricky. Nobody cares. Nobody gives two shits. No, the average man on the street couldn't care less.
Well, no, because as far as they're concerned, Boris got Brexit done.
Yes, he did.
It's just Brexit has collapsed as a success.
Do you think we have a overly negative view of of the average man. Are
Well,
we maybe terrible snobs, thinking they're all right-wing morons?
but the trouble is, based on what the nation keeps repeatedly voting for, it's hard not to think of them as right wing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the left ain't that left these days,
Well, no, you're right.
and the right is getting right, huh?
Overton window. The right shifts it, and the left keeps it from moving back.
So I think considering the masses as a sort of right, vaguely right wing, at the very least,
Hmm.
isn't unreasonable. You
How
know,
long have we been
it's
going on this? Let me just have a little look. See.
not that long.
43 minutes. Okay, we've got about another 40 minutes then.
Why is Keith posing like a French girl?
Because he's reclining. He don't give a shit.
God's sake, Keith.
No, I'm not going to move on this turn. God damn it.
Put your junk away, Keith.
Num num num. So, we've talked about this before, but the story keeps rolling along. That's right. It's our old pal, allegedly, Phil. I can never remember his fucking surname. Schofield.
How can you forget his surname?
I always do.
It's not like it's a. It's
Holly.
not like it's a normal
Holly Walsh. What's the fucking name? Holly Willoughby.
Hardy Willoughby.
Yes.
I keep getting clips of her from like early 2000s kid shows with Stephen Mulhern on TikTok, and they're always vaguely family friendly way.
Vaguely what? Sorry, you cut out.
Vaguely dirty, but in a family friendly way.
Well, Stephen Mulhern sort of carved out a weird niche for himself as the guy who presents shit on ITV3.
He's recently gone to do magic at Butlins, I think it is.
Yeah, that's about his level.
Used to be a red coat, didn't he?
Oh god.
Or was it a blue coat at the other one? I don't know.
Anyway, so Philip Schofield, there's a pile-on going on. All these arseholes like Eamon Holmes are saying, we knew all along and it's a travesty that ITV didn't do anything. And it's like, well, you were pretty fucking pally with him before. You didn't do much, did you? And this morning has been called a cesspit of horror. Not in so many words. By one of the people who used to be on there. And there's going to be an inquiry. And
is that Dr. Ange?
Yes.
Yes, I think I saw that.
There's going to be an inquiry, and he's been dropped from the Soap Awards, which is now being presented by Jane McDonald, who does a show called Cruising, where she goes on cruises, and she always sings a song on the end. And I kind of like that, because it feels like she made that a point in her contract. She wants a fucking song, goddammit. She wants a fucking musical number. I'm not doing it unless I get a musical number.
I saw a quote from her saying that it was a dream come true. And I can't help but wonder whether the dream included that it was being disgraced. Or whether it was just, you know, a happy coincidence that that's what caused it. Because, you know, like, the exact conditions were a bit...
Yes.
I saw a clip of David Cameron on the sofa with them.
Oh, is that the list of
supposed?
Yes,
yes.
who goes saying fucking sort it.
And David Cameron's like
being the most reasonable he's ever been, and going, you can't.
We don't want these people to be targeted, and we don't want them. The thing is that we need these things to be investigated properly,
yes.
and we don't want anyone, gay men in particular, to be
which is
targeted
very reasonable, frankly. That he was like,
the trouble is,
wave that around on live TV. Fuck's sake.
But the trouble is, the thing about David Cameron is that in the grand scheme of things, he was actually pretty reasonable.
Was he?
In the grand, look at what we've had since, and tell me otherwise.
I think it does decency a disservice to do that. To say, well, he's not as bad. He's not as bad as the ones we've had now. I don't think we should.
What you've got to you can only really properly compare it to the stuff before and the stuff after.
No, you can't. I don't think that's fair at all.
What else are you meant to compare it to?
Well, you can judge the man for his actions. In a
Okay,
vacuum, you absolutely can do that, and you judge the action. What are the ramifications, for example, of Brexit? That was his decision to take us into a referendum, thinking he could win. That was his arrogance that led to that. Thinking he could deal with this issue that had blighted the Tory party since the 70s or before,
okay.
you know, and because he'd won two referendums before. He'd won the voting reform referendum, and he'd won the Scottish referendum, and I'm convinced he came out of that thinking A, that he had a good idea of where the public stood on things, and B, that referendums were a great way to deal with difficult political issues, because you can't really turn around and say, well, the issue sort of dies for a bit, doesn't it? Because the public have decided. You have to respect the public vote.
Yeah,
And
no
I
matter
think
what.
I can see him thinking, I'll go to the public, we'll vote to remain narrowly, and that will deal with this for a decade or so. You know, it turned out well, didn't it? So judge him on that, not on the fact that Boris Johnson is fucking worse.
It's not just Boris, though, is it?
What you're talking
And
about?
again, I didn't say good. I just said reasonable.
Mm.
I don't think it's unreasonable to put a such a national decision to the nation.
Fucking do.
I think for logic, the reasoning that he was going to win it because of the others makes sense, but it's not an unreasonable decision to.
I think it is.
How I mean,
I absolutely think it is. It's an immensely complicated issue.
yes.
You can gauge public support, sure, but don't make them make the fucking decision. I know it wasn't a binding referendum, but
Well, it was taken as one.
yeah, and it was always going to be taken as one. Frankly, they couldn't turn around and say, "Well,
It
we've
was.
taken
It
your
wasn't
opinion."
gonna. It wasn't gonna get taken as one if it had gone to Remain, would it? It was. It would have been another issue a couple of years down the line when the Leave camp decided that they wanted to kick it before again. It was never. This issue was never, ever, 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 ever going to be put to bed whilst the UK or the EU exists.
No, but you would have settled real mainline political discussion within the Conservative Party on it, because you could always refer back to it, which I think was Cameron's intention, really. You could say,
Like, that's a
look, we've had a
perfectly
referendum, we need to respect the results of this.
that's a perfectly reasonable line of inquiry, though. That's a perfectly reasonable thing to try and do.
But it's born from such arrogance.
If it's reasonable, it doesn't mean no matter why it's what the
Hey, oh, look, it's a shiny. Shiny rates have been increased in this game. I think they've been doubled, actually. So we're going to see some more, and it includes trainer sprites. So there's a good chance, like we just saw here, of fighting a trainer shiny Pokemon. If we fought her again, it wouldn't be shiny. But yeah,
Oh.
just wanted to mention that.
I think he was being reasonable. That's all
I don't think he was. I mean, I see where you're coming from. It's a logical decision, is essentially what you're saying, and there is logic in there. I can see why he did it, but I think it was born out of arrogance, and I understand where that arrogance came from, because it had worked this far, you know. But yeah, I just. Yeah.
And it's all
Do you
it's
ever,
all moot now anyway, isn't it? Because it's happened and it's all apparently sorted out. So
Brexit means Brexit, says Keir Starmer, which is fucking joyous. Do you have any thoughts on this Philip Schofield malarkey?
I mean, I feel like at this point, if everyone's of the understanding that nothing illegal happened and it was ill advised, just we need to move on. Job done.
Yeah.
If no one broke the law, what does it matter?
Well, it was certainly abuse of power. Like this kid was, he wanted to be famous, and Philip Schofield exploited that. And you can say the kid went along with it. I think that's definitely true. But at the same time,
I
there's a
suppose
huge difference in power and a huge difference in age. And Philip Schofield was really driving the train on that one.
I suppose if there is anything that still needs to be cleared up completely, it is as to when they first met each other and to what extent that influenced their later having a relationship.
He knew him when he was underage.
Okay, but if that resulted, if that led to the fact that they had a relationship, if they stayed in contact, for example, then that is a problem.
If it was a case of
because
Philip
that is-
Schofield waiting for it to be legal, is what you're saying, right?
well, yeah,
Essentially.
basically, if then that becomes a problem because it's grooming. But if they
Pummel.
happen to know each other at some point, and then
Pummel.
5 years later, when it wasn't a problem, they knew each other again and started a relationship, no big fucking deal, as far as I'm concerned. Because you know people, people that are older and younger than you. It's a statement of fact. At some point, you may strike up a relationship with someone who you knew when they were underage, or that knew you while you were underage. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's it's only if there's a continuous communication through that point that I think you need to be concerned.
And the defence rests.
I wouldn't consider myself a defense.
It's certainly icky. You know, it's distasteful. It's an abuse of power.
It's ill-advised.
Well, yeah, it's exactly what he's. Well, it's exactly what he said. We don't know. He said it was unwise but not illegal. I mean,
I shouldn't think he'd have admitted to it if it was
no,
illegal.
it was totally illegal.
And I shouldn't think he would have admitted to it if he was under any impression that he might get called out for having actually done something illegal or bordering on illegal. So I'm inclined to believe that it is reasonably above board. Not good. I suppose not above board because obviously, it was all shady, wasn't it? But
I don't know. I mean, a lot of the right-wing sorts have come out and labelled him a paedophile and stuff. And who knows? I don't fucking know. I want to stress that. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. We don't know.
But you're part of the Phil Schofield and Hoddy Walsh fan club.
No, I'm not.
How do you not know?
But yeah, I mean, we don't know. But it's just a very ugly situation.
For the most part, I don't even care.
No, I don't really care. I just think, even though I mentioned it 3 weeks in a row, but it's kind of a big cultural story, I guess, pop culture. Just because Holly and Phil have been such stalwarts of the BBC, the ITV breakfast scene for so long.
Things happen, things change. It'll all be forgotten 6 months from now.
Probably, yeah.
If that.
He'll be on GB News, much like oh shit, what's his name? Peter Andre.
Oh, he's on GB News, is he?
Yes, I've only just heard about this recently, in the last day or so. He's taken on a presenting role for GB News. Wow. This old lady's very keen for me to sleep here.
She wants to put you up. How old are you again?
None of your business. Right.
Oh. Why would you have to fight the Karate Kid?
What?
Why are you fighting the Karate Kid?
Experience.
They'll only kick you. Illegally, that's bad.
Oh, I see.
Ooh, level 44.
Do you know Johnny Cash was the first American to learn that Stalin was dead?
Ridiculous fact.
He was not radar, he was like a coding person or whatever. And the message came through when he decoded it. And Johnny Cash was the first person to find out Joseph Stalin had died. In America, anyway.
Well.
Yeah.
It's good that he's got a claim to fame.
Yeah. berries and the mountainy bit.
Someone's got to pick them.
Yeah, you certainly do, and that person is me.
If you can't beat them, pick
Pick
them.
'em.
You certainly can't join them. Hiding out in the mountains, doing nothing of value. Oh wait,
What?
what they want to get engaged to you?
No, she's asking for an engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a battle, an engagement.
No, you didn't define the rules.
Well,
That's a stupid looking Pokemon.
have you got any topics?
Nope.
Okay, well, thanks for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. I got my record player out this week.
Did you?
Mm.
You're a hipster.
No, I wouldn't call myself a hipster. I'd call myself someone who caught the tail end of a record movement and picked it up as a nostalgia piece. A personal nostalgia piece rather than a cultural nostalgia piece. The music that I've chosen to get for it is mostly because I like that music and our original vinyls that have that music on.
We are really
But
over-leveled.
Yeah, and that you're still leveling up.
Well, who cares? It'll make us get through the game quicker.
Well, you say that, but all the stop-start fighting, I'm not sure it does. I think it's about the same.
Well,
You do the big events quicker, but you're taking longer to get to them. So
it'll mean fewer losses. It'll mean we hit harder, which means we take less time with battles. I'm not playing it any fucking quicker. This is my time. I'm doing what I want.
I'm just saying that I don't think the logic of it'll be quicker.
It is
actually works.
Yeah, it is quicker, not by much, I grant you, but
is it actually noticeable?
Yeah.
You don't sound convinced.
Yeah.
Doing it because you want to do it is perfectly reasonable. I think it's folly to say it is quicker.
Well, it is technically quicker. Well,
see, that sounds like the kind of thing that the people that make the game tell you, so that you spend more time doing stuff in it that you don't have to do, so the game feels bigger.
Right, well, seeing as you couldn't be asked, do you want me to move on to another topic?
Oh, do you not want to respond to that comment?
Well, I think it's a pointless comment. I've said it's faster. It is faster.
I disagree. I
okay,
don't think
you're wrong.
I don't think you've proven that it is faster. I don't
of course,
think...
if I have a battle and I'm at the same level as somebody else, right? I'm not going to hit as hard, which means it may take 2 or 3 hits to take something down potentially. And if they hit me, I may be knocked out or I may have to heal or whatever. If I'm a higher level, I can take things out reliably with 1 hit, and I don't have to heal as often.
Okay, consider this. The time spent getting into all these extra battles that you don't have to get into eats away at the time that you've saved.
No, it doesn't, because I'm still fighting just as many battles.
How are you fighting just as many
battles?
I have
EXP all on. That's why I'm this level. I can turn it off.
Okay. But when I said, but you're still leveling...
Yes.
You were specifically fighting people so you can get the experience, right? People that you can avoid.
Right, I see what you mean now. You've taken the long way around, but we've got there. I know what you mean. Yes, you're right. I could be avoiding trainers at this point and saving even more time. I don't want to. This is part of the experience.
Okay, and I've already said, just as you want to.
I know.
So, but the idea that you're saving time...
I'm not saving time.
When you're doing all the fights.
But if I was fighting everybody with EXP all off, right?
Then that would certainly take longer.
There we go. That is what I meant. That is what I thought you meant. Right, there, we got
You were mistaken to think that.
Okay, can we move on?
You just talked over me.
I know, but I get a bit bored of these fucking...
Such a hypocrite.
...pedantic discussions.
Well,
you have to be right.
No, because if you'd listened to what I'd said...
And we're in one now.
If you'd listened to what I said, I was saying You were wrong to think it, but I understand why, and it's fine.
Okay,
I was
okay,
literally
okay,
saying.
okay, okay.
What's your topic?
Here's a question. What did you
Go
say?
on. What's your topic?
Yeah. So you know that Maddie McCann,
Yes.
whose parents what you hate.
It's not that I hate them, it's that I hate the consequences of her actions and the fact that people are so fucking keen to be supportive of them when.
Oh.
Yes, what about them?
Well, they've been digging in that lake. I
Yes.
say digging. They've been fishing or whatever,
They may well have been digging, we don't know.
and they found some stuff. But it sort of made me think. If you could solve any unsolved mystery, what would it be?
DB Cooper.
He plummeted into the fucking ground. He's dead. He's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yes, but the money, then.
Oh yeah, no, it's a bow. It's like in a river. They found a bit of it in a riverbed. It
Okay.
washed up.
Okay, but a bit isn't all of it.
Oh no, it's at the bottom of the river.
Okay, well,
It got washed away. Yeah.
but whereabouts, if it is recoverable?
I don't know. Pacific Northwest. It could be fucking anywhere.
You're not like that's the point. That's the
Yeah.
point of the question and the answer I've given you, Ben.
I know, but it's just. I mean, you can. What would you do with that information? Just be nice to know, I guess. Just to know where the
Get
money
it.
went.
Get it if I could.
Well, okay. Firstly, you probably couldn't spend it because it's probably all rotted away and disintegrated over the course of what 50 years. And
Well,
secondly,
I
if you
did.
did find it, it's probably the U.S. government. You have to hand it over.
I did say if it was recoverable.
Yeah.
Like if it's
Recoverable and
not in a,
spendable do not mean the same thing.
I would say that if it is no longer what it was, if it's no longer money,
Yeah.
then it is not recoverable.
Well,
You can't recover the money if it's not money anymore.
You could recover it.
If it's not money, you're not recovering money.
You could recover it. You just couldn't spend it. But
And I would like to think that there would be some sort of
reward,
thank you reward,
fame.
and failing that,
Yeah,
you could guarantee you'd end up on some podcast or being able to sell the story to
that's
someone or
true.
other.
You could have merch. Everybody's got
the guy-
merch, apart from us.
The guy that found the DVD. What merch would we even have?
Oh, I don't know. Some sort of sex swing with your face on it. I don't know.
No one wants that. I don't even own a sex swing.
You do. Is it a weight thing?
It's a space thing.
Oh, right.
Like, where the fuck am I going to put one? I live in a 2-bedroom flat.
You get a
owned by the
hook.
council.
You don't have it up all the time. You get a hook installed, and you stick it in your wardrobe when you're not using it.
It's bad enough having the under the bed restraints around.
God, it's a
Like-
wonder Henry hasn't stumbled onto something.
Oh, it's a miracle. An absolute miracle.
Yeah, God bless
Yeah.
technology. He's just sitting watching fucking CBeebies or whatever on his iPad or playing Roblox or whatever kids do these days.
It's neither of those things.
Right. Well, I don't know anything about kids these days.
Well, it's probably for the best that you don't.
Right. Yes.
YouTube.
What?
It's all YouTube.
Oh,
these
right.
days, on the
What
TV.
are they
because
watching?
TV's smart. Well, it depends. I don't know what everyone's watching. Sometimes it's Roblox.
Right.
But he tends to be watching people play Minecraft or Bloons, or earlier it was someone watching playing taps. And the very important thing in that particular video, there was a quote that stuck with me, and I'm not sure how to deal with it. But the quote was more about as many tentacles as an R-rated anime,
Right.
which doesn't explicitly go into the detail to
I
make
think
it
you know what it means.
unreasonable. No,
That was a joke
I
for the
know
dads.
what it means. I know what it means. You know what it means. But should I be concerned that he might know what it
Of course he
means?
fucking. Well, I mean, you'd be very fucking concerned if he knew what it meant. If he sat there chuckling, going, "Oh, how true, gosh." You know, that would be concerning.
It would, but the trouble is, I'm not in there all the time when he's watching these things. He's doing it right now.
Well,
But I don't know
that's-
what he's watching right now.
Well, who fucking knows? He could stumble on all sorts, couldn't he?
Typically speaking, it all seems to be reasonable when I am around.
You've got like a family filter on or something.
Nope.
Right. That's okay. That's probably something you should look into.
The trouble is that the filters that go on are inherently flawed. because otherwise it's childish childish crap, which has also been proven to be infiltrable, infiltrated by wrongdoers, shall we say? People that have taken stuff like Peppa Pig and turned it into terrorist
Hentai.
propaganda, and it's ended up in YouTube Kids. So you can't trust that the safe processes are actually going to be all that safe. And again, in my experience with stuff that I've seen, and I do see a lot, there's not anywhere near as much as he does. The stuff that I have seen tends to be pretty damn safe, and it's mostly the people that are like the people that I'm familiar with their content, so I know that they're okay. Like Slogo, for example. Slogo is a big YouTuber. Don't know how big they are these days, but they're fairly big. And they
Bigger than us?
who isn't bigger than us? Like
There are people out there with 0 views. We've got views
okay,
and
okay,
likes.
name one.
Oh, I can't fucking name one.
Exactly.
They are nobodies. Their lives do not matter. They're not real people. They don't have views
if
on YouTube.
If they are someone that you would know was on YouTube, they've got more views than us.
I've got more views than us.
Exactly.
A
You
lot.
know, it's not like I've got more views than us in my other stuff.
Dirty git. Yeah.
So it's not.
You should tell your fans to come our way. I mean, not come our way, but come visit us.
I'll be honest with you, it's bad enough telling my fans to fuck off when they won't leave me alone.
Well, mine have started fucking off. Well, you know, it's been a little while. It's only been 3 months, and I'm losing subscribers because I haven't fucking posted anything. It's so fickle. Fame is a fickle friend.
In mid-May, which I know this is going to be going out at like mid-June, isn't it? So
Yeah.
in mid-May, I put out an announcement saying, look, I need to take a break from my mental health.
Yeah.
And the majority of the response was positive. Like all the comments that I got, 3, were positive comments like, yeah, we'll miss you, enjoy the break, hope it helps, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Not necessarily those words, but the gist. And there was a number of it was upvoted at like 96% or something.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
It's fairly good approval.
Well,
And
you're
then
the 4% of arseholes who said "fuck you."
I don't know.
I mean,
if I knew
you
I
know
would
these people
pick them.
exist. I know these people exist.
People about.
Hmm.
And then this last week has been like daily. There have been people saying, "Oh, can you caption this? Can you caption that? Can you caption this? Can you caption that? Are you doing captions again?" It's like, A, no. B, if you are that much of a fan, you would have seen that I've done the announcement saying that I'm not doing stuff. And I make a point of on my bio saying whether I'm doing requests or not. On Reddit, my bio specifically says right at the end, requests closed. And I'd make a point of putting it there so that people know all they have to do is have a little look and they can see. And I sent the last few people I sent them a link to that post that I'd done saying that I'm not doing it. And about half of them completely ignored it and didn't say anything back. Like that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Me saying sending them this link. So I don't even know if I've read the fucking thing at this point. And any other half are like, oh shit, sorry, da da da, or whatever. So I can get behind the existence of these people being like I get it. Maybe they just didn't know. Somehow that is.
Here's a question: can you pin a post to the top of your Reddit thing?
Yes.
Right. Well, have you done that?
Why would I need to? It's the most recent thing.
Right. I'd probably do that anyway.
Well, I mean, it's the latest thing.
Yeah, I know, but I'd probably do that anyway. Just cause.
Well, the trouble is, it's now no longer relevant.
Okay, are you back?
Well, I've put a message out yesterday saying, first off, it's my birthday. Not that it matters or is relevant to the rest of this, but I thought I'd say it anyway. And then the rest of it was, I'm easing back in. I need to make a load of stuff so I can share it, and then I'm not doing requests yet, but I'll let you guys know when I am and all that kind of stuff. And the response to that has been positive as well. I put out one that I wanted for my stash that I hadn't released yet, so they got a new one.
If I were you, I'd be churning them out.
The trouble is,
that's just my mindset. I like a large body of work.
What I do is I make 30 or 40, and then I do a few a day until that runs low, and then I make 30 or 40, and then I do send a few a day
Yeah, it's
until
a fair idea.
it's my go-to process. And I've got like 8, 9 sat that I haven't used yet, so I could put them out there if I
Mm.
wanted to. But the trouble is, I want to have back. I need to make some more. I need to get back into the make it, post it, make it, post it process.
Mm.
But I've made like 500 of these fucking things since October.
Nug.
Like literally 500 odd, and that's probably not including the requests. But I'll tell you, I could have a look. I can honestly say how many I've made because it is absurd.
I want a heart
Uh,
scale. Right, we're on telly. Shall we have a look? We're up and coming talent.
387 there.
Oh, that's that. Right, let's explore while you're counting. This is a new area. It's a quarry, and it uses mechanics from Gen 4, the underground mechanics. And there's a gym leader here, Brawley, who was in the original Pokemon Emerald, and he's in this. I think we can battle him at some point in the post game, which I doubt we'll do. Let's have a look. See. This thing. I should probably give it a little once over, perhaps. Oh god, it's him. You still counting?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to go through this?
Folders. Oh look, there's one here
Well, I
called
suppose
pumpkin carving.
I dread to think.
Oh, this is probably as bad as you think.
Right. So we can alternate
Okay.
between our hammer and our.
13. That's 4.
No, I was never very good at this, even in the original Gen 4 games. And I'm still not very good at it. Well, I would do this, but I don't really want to. So, yeah, we'll leave. Oh, fuck off. We'll leave this. 'Cause I don't find it particularly interesting. Let's probably get some repels, because we're getting to that stage where I'm a bit bored of running into shit. Kitty cat. See, super repels are the best value. Super repels are the best value for money. Right. No, not you. You.
Just 10, 20, 30, 40.
I only got dig.
555 without requests. 555 without looking at the ones that I've given a request.
Same number as disciples.
What, 555?
Yeah.
Oh. So it's not the main ones, just in
No, and they were in reserve. Well, I know where we're going to stop this video, so I reckon we've got about another 20 minutes less. So, yeah. Oh, I haven't said what unsolved mystery I'd like to solve.
No, you haven't.
We got sidetracked by your porn.
Well, I mean, you know, I
Well,
am quite prolific with porn.
I think JonBenet Ramsay.
Okay.
Some people say it's difficult because you look at it and you think, oh well, it must have been an intruder, and then somebody puts a theory out saying it was the dad, and suddenly that looks very convincing, and then someone says it was the son, and that looks very convincing, and then you think
I, I'm gonna
intruder.
level with you. I know nothing.
Well, that's all right.
I,
Um,
I I don't. I don't even know what we're talking about.
okay, for those of you that don't know, JonBenet Ramsay was a 3, 4, 5, something like that year old girl who was killed on Boxing Day, even though Americans don't call it Boxing Day. Um, Her parents woke up in their massive fucking house and found a ransom note on the stairs. It was 4 pages long, and it said, "Don't call the fucking police. We'll kill you and we'll kill her." And mentioned it had lots of like movie references in it, which was a bit weird. And it signed off SBTC, I think, which was weird. And it asked for the amount that JonBenet's father, who was called John Ramsay, got as a bonus. So they called the police, and it was a fucking mess because they let all their friends in, and they were like cleaning the place just to keep busy and things like that. And the dad was told to search the house and found her strangled in the basement. And nobody knows who did it to this day. A lot of people said it was the parents, and there was talk of them being indicted for it, but it was the district attorney said no, so that didn't happen. But it's still unsolved. And
Yeah.
I do have a theory. I think I read John Douglas, who's a criminal profiler. I've read his book, The Cases That Haunt Us, which talks about unsolved cases, and it talks about the JonBenet Ramsay case. And I think his theory was that somebody who had a personal grudge against John Ramsay did it, and that's why it was the ransom letter was addressed to him. And it was long and rambling because you only really need like 4 sentences in a ransom letter, don't you? We have your daughter, give us this much money, do it in this manner, don't involve the police or she dies. That's all you need. But it was very rambling, and he suggests that this person broke in and deliberately killed her, and maybe was disturbed by noises in the house as they woke up and got the hell out of there or something. I think that's as good a guess as any. I think it was some guy he pissed off at the office or something. A temp or something who resented his success. That's what I'd like to solve.
Well, you'd like to solve a child's murder. I want to know where the money went.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did the note come from inside the house?
It was, yeah. They found, it's really fucking creepy. They found like draft attempts. So whoever wrote this wrote it in the house.
Oh.
While they were sleeping, somebody was down the stairs writing a ransom letter, or maybe before they got home, somebody was in their house writing this letter. It's very, very interesting. I suggest. Well, I'm falling into that Room 101 thing you hate, but I recommend you watch a video about it on YouTube.
You would recommend anyone with a prolonged interest
In dead kids.
in to potentially look into this one.
Yeah, if you're into dead
How
kids.
you would phrase that without urging me.
Yes. Yeah, you don't have to, but
I won't.
Keith, if you want to watch something to make you feel better about the state of your life, watch that.
Because God knows this ain't gonna help.
No, sorry. It's honestly a wonder you haven't done yourself in, to be honest.
To be fair, if it wasn't for the phantom likes, then maybe they would have.
Yes,
Right.
I imagine this is the only thing that keeps him going, somehow, for some bizarre reason.
I don't think this is keeping anyone going, is it?
Well, it's the highlight of my week. Playing games with my friend.
Yeah, you see, you're not actually playing it with me.
Okay, when I'm playing a game and you're watching.
Okay.
You seem to criticise this format a lot, but I think it works really well.
No, no. All I said is that we are not playing this
You
game.
moan an awful lot about it. Your tone suggests otherwise.
Well, tone can suggest a lot of things.
Well, it'll be your turn soon enough, and I'll have to sit and watch you play Rome Total War.
Well, which is vastly more interesting than the shark game, is it not?
Oh yeah, much. Yeah, no, I approve. And then we'll do some quizzes.
Can you host that this time?
Sure,
Can you host the quiz thing this time on yours?
sure. I said.
Oh, I thought you said whore.
Oh,
Sounded like whore, and I thought, well,
you've ruined your own mind. You know that.
uh,
You and your interests.
no, I don't pay for it.
Ba- 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 ba. Hmm. Let's just do a quick checky weck. Okay, well we're getting pretty close now, but I might call it before we go in the cave.
Okay.
Not long to go now.
Is it dark in the cave?
No, it's it's a mountain really. It's I can't actually remember what it's called.
Is it? Is a cave and a tunnel, are they synonymous?
No, a cave doesn't. A cave doesn't have an exit apart from
It's
the
just,
entrance. It's a one whole thing. Is my assumption. I think I don't know. A tunnel leads to the other side. A cave doesn't necessarily do that. I don't know.
you see,
A
I'm
tunnel
curious.
is man-made. Would be another probably more likely assumption. Or a tunnel is
Uh,
made with purpose.
I would be prepared to
Rather
accept
than
that.
nature doesn't make a tunnel, only animals do. Yeah, that would probably be a better way. I
Like
guess.
worms and stuff.
Yeah, and moles and miners. Who is your favourite team member?
What team?
This team, our team.
The Pokemon team.
Yeah.
Gobble, but because of a name.
Okay.
You?
I like
What about
Jeff
you?
Jeff.
Okay.
So,
Because of the name?
yes, I think it was a clever little name. I took advantage of a situation very funnily. Right, let's fight this weirdo.
Do some damage by Jink. He looks the sort.
That's what I want.
You want a Goomy?
Yeah. My little goo boy.
Yeah, I wouldn't trace it like that.
A good time pal.
Wants to dash you, wants to dazzle girl.
Whoa.
Oh boy, President Biden is, quote, fine after he fell on stage during Air Force Academy graduation ceremony.
Oh, Christ, he's so old.
And we might get him again.
You see the
But
debates. The debates are really going to be something. I think that might be a stumbling point if he goes up against someone younger and more eloquent. But look, we'll talk about the U.S. presidential election in the next video because I do have it's actually one of my topics. I have
Is
to
it?
think. Yes, I have some U.S. political. Oh, what's this? This thing I completely forgot about that I actually kind of want to add to my team.
Not before you've got Goomy, you know?
Au contraire, mon frère. Oh,
Ha!
right.
That pissed on your bonfire.
Yeah, it did. Survivor actually evolves in this game, and it evolves into something I think is pretty cool looking. And I'm completely forgot about this, but I would quite like to use one.
I have a feeling we're going to knock it out.
Fuck you. I just hope it's a decent nature. That's always the issue with these things.
Only if you care about it. Ooh, someone's in the stairwell.
Fuck's sake.
Let's do a little bit more damage.
No, I can't. I've heard damage actually does very little. Apparently, once you get it to this level, the more important thing is to get a status thing on it. Unfortunately, it's got shed skin, so that's not really a goer.
I always thought you should be able to catch them after you've knocked them out.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be a better way of doing it.
It's easier to kidnap a person if you've got them knocked out, isn't it?
I wouldn't know.
Logically speaking. They make less noise.
Right, nickname. What do you think?
Fangs.
Fangs. Okay. How do you want me to spell it? With a Z?
No.
Okay, Fangs it is. Don't say I don't give you anything. Please be good, 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 please be good. That's shit. Right. I'll see if I can catch another one. Lucky us.
My car passed its MOT today.
Did it really?
I wasn't concerned, but I had put some money aside just in case.
Yeah.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Were they proper mechanics like?
No, I got the bloke next door to do it.
Alright. Not sure that's particularly wise.
Porto proper mechanics.
Oh, I
they even
see.
came and collected it for me.
I say proper
Okay.
mechanics, I mean, were they blokes?
Well, I mean, I didn't go to the garage myself. So
Blokey blokes.
I wouldn't know exactly the style of bloke they were. But I had to assume they were blokey blokes from the one who came to collect it and then brought it back. Last year, it had a. They were concerned that the brakes might need sorting at some point soon.
Oh,
What was that noise?
I thought we were going to knock it out.
Well,
I had a great ball, so we'll do our best with this. Oh, lovely. Right, you still down for Fangs?
What was wrong with the first one?
Its nature wasn't great. You still want Fangs?
I mean, I do, but I'm worried that you're going to accidentally release the wrong one.
I'm not going to release.
Somehow.
You let me worry about that. Oh, it's got an item. Strong jaw. That's a great. That's perfect. That is a perfect fucking. Oh, and it's got the item you need to evolve it. So that's wonderful. So yes. So I'm just gonna run back and heal.
But you're not going to have to deal with this fucking thing.
I've already got one, thanks. Mine's better.
No, you don't know that.
So yeah. Let's just switch it up. We'll heal at the Pokemon Center and then we'll call it. So we got fairly far. We got another team member that I'm quite happy with. And that's about it really. This stretch of the game wasn't really very productive, but hey ho, we had some good bants, didn't we?
Ha ha ha. All the lols.
Yeah.
Truly, we are a comedy force to be reckoned with. However, will the world cope when this video gets released?
I'm gonna dump the fake fans before I forget.
I Honestly, I'm surprised you didn't just release it.
No, because then I would have released the wrong one, as well you know.
Well, I was concerned. Are you
Right,
sure you put the right one away?
strong jaw.
I'm
Great.
only asking if you were
Yeah.
sure.
No, I'm definitely sure now.
Okay.
Okay, well, our team's coming together nicely. So,
Don't
on that
forget to
note,
say
say goodbye, Jordan. Bye.